Hello friends, today we're going to be looking at color schemes. So our objectives are be able to identify different color schemes and use them intentionally in your own artwork, and then be able to describe how color choices affect the mood, emotion, and interpretation of an artwork. So just a review of our artist color wheel. So our primary colors are red, blue, yellow. Our secondary colors are orange, green, and violet. And then our tertiary colors are yellow, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and red, orange. And then also the three characteristics of color are hue, which is the color name, value, which is how light or dark the color is, and then intensity or chroma is how bright or saturated the color is. So when you're creating artwork, you want to be able to use color effectively. So you want to be able to create color harmony and or color contrast when picking colors. So there are a variety of color schemes that you can work with that will create the look that you're going for in your artwork. So you want to be creating color schemes with intent, not just picking random colors and throwing them together. You want to work on creating contrast and harmony. And here's some examples of some different types of color schemes. And we're going to look at some of them a little bit closer. So monochromatic colors or a monochromatic color scheme is light to dark values of one color. So this would be the tints, tones, and shades of red or blue. It creates color unity. So if you're doing a piece in a monochromatic color scheme, it's going to be light to dark of one color. So for instance, if my choice is blue, I could have light to darks of just that one color in my artwork. So here's an example of two famous art pieces that use a monochromatic color scheme. The Van Gogh does have little bits of green in it, but it's a lot of yellow that is light to dark of one color. And then Picasso on the left is during his blue period. So you can see a lot of that light to dark of just blue. And it creates kind of like a soft, like a calming kind of color scheme. Not a whole lot of contrast. Analogous colors are adjacent to or next door to each other on the color wheel. So it creates color harmony. So for instance, you have yellow, yellow-green, and green, blue, blue-violet, and violet. So any combination of colors that are next to each other on the color wheel will work. So here's an example from Degas. So there's a yellow, orange, and orange, kind of almost a red. And you also have to remember that within that color scheme, you have tints, tones, and shades of that color. So it's not just that flat color. And then on the right is Georgia O'Keeffe. So you have violet, red, violet, blue. So all of those colors that are next to each other on that color wheel. And this is a really nice piece. So complementary colors are across from each other on the color wheel, and they create a lot of contrast. So if you're looking to create something that really stands out, you want to use complementary colors. So violet and yellow is a complementary pair. Red and green is a complementary pair, and blue and orange are complementary pairs. And you can do any colors that are across on the color wheel. So the one on the left is by Monet, so it has this nice blue, almost monochromatic color use in the background and that really bright orange sun, right? So it creates that really bright contrast. On the right is Edward Hopper. There's a lot of red and green used in this piece, so I'm going to count it as complementary. So that red and that green contrast together, and using value in there. So there's a really light value in the building. And then last, we're going to talk about triadic. So triadic colors are three colors evenly spaced on the color wheel. So this one's a little bit trickier, but they create a very bold, vibrant palette. So our primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, are triadic. So you can pick a color and then there's three in the middle. So you can just shift this and figure out a triadic color scheme. Another triadic color scheme is our secondary colors, so green, orange, and violet. So here are two examples. So these are both using that primary color scheme. So Lichtenstein on the left, so really bold, and then Mondrian on the right. And again, you can also use white, you can use black, you can use tints, tones, and shades with those colors as well. It's not just the pure color. Alright, so for your practice, I want you to create a 4-color scheme composition. So I have a little handout for you, and you're going to do a monochromatic, a complementary, analogous, and triadic color scheme. Colors of your choice as long as they're following that correct color scheme pattern. And you can also use black and white in there, or gray, to create tints, tones, and shades of those colors. So can't wait to see what you do. Check it off with me when you're done. Good job.